And I know today's end result didn't go the way that you would like, but I know through all the trials and tribulations, there were some positives there as your team did battle back from a double-digit deficit. We're able to tie up the game, but just in the fourth quarter, it just didn't go your team's way today.
We just didn't execute well. I think for the most part, the intangibles were there. I thought there were a few minutes at the end of the third and the start of the fourth where we got out physicaled a little bit. But for the most part, that wasn't the story. We had too many turnovers. You know, when you get the game to a tie game, 4-point game, and it's going back and forth, they go up 2, we tie it, they go up 2, they go up 4. And we had a string of just put the ball over your head and throw it. And, you're just not going to win basketball games that way. And we have to be more disciplined. And that's probably the most frustrating thing. We just were not disciplined in defensively at times or offensively.
There were a few laps there, but, when it was crisp, like I was telling the fans throughout the broadcast, like when everybody's on the same page, it's electric. And the ball movement in certain instances was so amazing. And you talk about how this team is always trying to find an identity because each squad is different. And knowing that you have a lot of new faces, the pandemic, I think you have to give a lot of credit, though, here today to Mason and to Jasmine Jackson, two of the veterans of your team, really stepping up and trying to motivate the rest of the squad back into the game, especially during that first double-digit deficit.
Yeah, I thought Christina was great at the end of the second quarter, really helped us with the momentum going into halftime. And Jazz was great in the second half. I think it's a lot of it, you're right, is our identity. And we're not doing what we need to do defensively, which has been a foundation and a staple for us. And we're not getting it. And offensively, we're just struggling. You know, we're not struggling in practice. We shoot great in practice. We shoot 60, 70% some days from the outside. And it hasn't all clicked come game time. You know, we'll go back to the drawing board. You're right, this is a young team, lots of new faces. We just have to keep getting better. I think the biggest issue is this, we have a tendency to really self-sabotage, meaning when things don't go our way or we have a mistake, we stay in that past moment instead of moving on and being where our feet are. And I think that got us a lot tonight, or this afternoon, rather. And, we have to be tougher than the situation. And I thought that the last two games, that has been the biggest issue for me. We haven't stayed where our feet were. We get down on ourselves, we get upset, and then we take away the current moment because it's something that happened in the past.
Oh, Coach, I always appreciate your insight because I know you just tell it how it is. Going forward, because I know you know how to move past these things and try to look ahead. UTPB, you get a chance to be at home for a little while. How do you think that's going to play into your preparation for the Falcons coming into Austin?
I don't know. This year, it seems like the home and away thing has kind of been neutralized. I know some of our opponents are allowing fans, and in all honesty, some of our exhibition games and some of our games when we've had fans on the road, we've played better than we play at home. Obviously, it helps because we get to sleep in our own beds and we don't have to go on the road on Wednesday. So definitely that does play into it. I'm excited. Their start class on Tuesday, so they resume some sort of normalcy.
Get that routine in.
I'm not a fan of Christmas break. It's my least favorite 4 weeks of the year just because there's no structure. They have no routine. They come to practice, they eat, they sleep, and that's about all they do. So I think that, as much as anything, will be good for us to get back into a routine and go to class, even if it is virtually.
Well, Coach, I know you know exactly what you're talking about. You always get the job done, and I know it's, midway through the season. There's still a lot of season to go, and this team probably will turn the corner as they usually do.
That's why I love you, the eternal optimist up there.
Well, Coach J.J. Riehl, I appreciate you again for joining us here on the Postgame show. Thank you again for your time.
Thanks, Justin.
All right, Coach.